Friday, and everybody knows what that means. It's Finance Friday here at RCO Network. Rob Morales, RCO Network. Good people, better business, discovering the best of you. We're here on Friday at the noon hour to bring information about money, finances, and things that make this world work regarding money-wise. So it definitely is Friday, and I do have one special guest today. We don't have the whole gang. Satoshi is on vacation. Francisco is busy with busy stuff. Please welcome my co-host today, Miss Erika. Oh, sorry, M2. She is M2 to me. This Miss Erika Morales Martinez, whoever she is, I don't know. Welcome, Erika. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, so we come at you every week here to bring you money information about your finances. Not that we're here to give financial advice, we're just here to kind of share in our experiences and what we know. But again, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead, hit that like button, especially if you're on YouTube. Hit those likes because, you know, you want to see us every week, and subscribe and catch those notifications. If you're on Facebook, Twitch, or on LinkedIn, again, we love the loves, so hit that heart button and give us some comments for whatever you want. We're here to bring information.
Yes, we are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the thing I wanted to bring today, the theme of the show today is take me to the charts. So I have in the last few months, and we get this, you know, off and on from some of the viewers and other people that are involved. They want to know more about stocks, right? They want to make that quick cash. They want to make that quick money. You know, when we have Frank on, he's more of the long-term guy. We got Satoshi on. He's more about the Bitcoin. But really, I think at the end of the day, people just want to put their money. They want somebody to say, hey, andale, where should I put my money? And then you're going to say, oh, you should go to this stock. And they're going to be like, okay, I go put it there. Okay, I made $5,000. Thank you. You know, they want that quick response. They want the information to like make money right then and there. And that's not always the case, right?
No, it's not. Because they're, once again, like I always say, you need to do your research, follow up, and don't trade or
don't be
invest.
Stupid. Well, you can be silly, you can be risk, but I think people want to be risk adverse, but also make as much yield as possible too.
That is true, but investing in the stock market, you're not going to make money every day, and you're not going to lose money every day. It just depends what you're going to trade, and you know, one company, for instance, say Google, might work for me, but it might not work for you.
Correct.
So, once again, always do your research before you put your money. That's what I say.
So where do you put your money? Where your mouth is?
Where my mouth is, yes.
Oh, yes. Shit. So I did want to bring some charts up. You know, again, one of the things I've been exploring these last few months, especially the last few months, in the past, I think I'm just like everybody else in the last few years before we started doing the show, before I started really investing and learning about finance, was to listen to those memes and listen to people who say, oh, go put your money in Netflix. You know, that's a real good stock. And you're like, oh, okay. That sounds good. How do I do that? Where do I go? You know, and it wasn't until I met Frank, until some of the other people in my life that kind of pointed me in the right direction. And I think there's a lot of people that point you in the wrong direction too. And I don't, you know, really when somebody says, oh, you should go invest in this stock, you know, you should probably take that with a degree of advisement, or at least some hesitation, because it's like, okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean I go buy it today? Does that mean I go to Netflix and be like, hey, where is my stock?
They're going to be like, what?
Here's my money. Here's my money.
Yeah, like,
give me a stock. Give me a stock of what? So I did want to pull up some charts a little bit. Is there a favorite stock that you have? What are you watching right now? Because you're the chart person.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Before,
here we go.
Number one is that you have to get a broker.
Oh, okay.
You need an account.
Yeah.
So it's not just that you're going to go knock on Netflix or the door, say, hey, okay. They're going to be like, get out of here. Yeah. You need an account. Depending if it's going to be stocks, futures, anything. Yeah. Options. It just depends. Currency, you need to have an account.
Yeah, and I currently have, my majority of my money right now is invested in Vanguard. So I have a Vanguard account. Initially, when I first got into investing, it was really Frank that kind of pointed me in that direction. And it was a very small amount of money. It was a rollover IRA. And then over time, I started acquiring more. I opened a brokerage account, which has some money in it, and some play money as well as some long-term money in there. But I've been branching out. You know, I've been wanting to get into crypto because, you know, Satoshi like gets on my mind all the time. He's like, hey, did you see Ethereum today? I'm like, I'm barely getting used to Bitcoin. and so there's a lot of information, and then you see it too on the news all the time, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. People make the Dogecoin millionaire. You're like, oh my god, that guy invested like $1,000 in penny stocks, basically.
But I don't listen to the Ken and Barbies on TV.
Oh shit,
I don't.
Ken and Barbie.
Well, you have those pretty blondes on there saying, "Oh, this is what on CNN." Or
what about bald guys? How do you feel about bald guys?
I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll get.
How do you feel about bald guys? M2.
I don't know.
No, not there yet.
Are you gonna wear a baseball cap?
Oh shit! I guess. Never mind.
I'm just joking.
Um,
No, but yeah, you need to go ahead and open an account. 2, make sure that you have money to invest.
Yeah.
And number 3, get familiar with the charts. You need to get familiar with the terminology and the basics. Like when I first came on the show, it's like we're building a house or you're building a relationship.
Yeah.
You need a foundation, a strong one. Because if you just start building, it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
And it happened to me.
So what happened?
I was trading very well, and then I just didn't, I got the hang of it, but then I was doing it incorrectly. Because then I had FOMO. Fear of missing out, and I was like, no, I can do it, one more, and it became more of like gambling.
Yeah.
And I didn't set up my parameters.
Well, see, like it's very much like Vegas, right? Because I subscribe to TradingView.
Okay.
And so it's a platform that allows me to kind of chart and use some of the information to make a proper decision regarding a trade. And so when you get on this thing, and you can see it on your screen, I mean, you get on this looks like Vegas, man. It's got like red and green and purple, and you're like, oh my god, look at these charts. And then you see stuff like these are indicators, and it's basically saying the indicator right here is saying to buy the stock, and then over here it's basically saying to sell. And so you're like, oh, okay. But there's other information that is presented here that could be a potential buy for you. Just because it says buy doesn't necessarily mean you should.
That you could buy, yeah.
And then there's information here that's relaying that you shouldn't buy. I mean, this is the 10-year yield, by the way.
Right.
And so I did want to get into this a little bit, in the show, because interest rates are kind of at question, and where the housing market's going is in question. And the 10-year treasury the interest rates are based loosely off the 10-year treasury. And you're about to have, what is that right there? What is that? Do you see that red line? That's the 50-day, and then you have the purple 200-day.
Okay.
What does that mean to you? What does that signal?
I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay.
Just off the moving averages.
Off the moving averages, I'm going to go and I'm going to say that it's going to be a bearish, just looking at it, because I don't see anything else. I'm trying to find a trend.
And bearish means sell. I mean, people are selling more than they are buying.
Right.
It's a down market.
Okay.
And the reason it's a down market, you basically have a death cross coming.
Okay.
And this is the 10-year treasury. So people that are saying that the interest rates are going to be going up, well, the 10-year treasury, if the interest rates are based loosely off the 10-year treasury, that's not what I'm seeing here. So if you're shopping for a home, if you're out there shopping for a place to live, we're about to have a death cross on the 10-year treasury, which is also an indicator that there may be lower interest rates than they are now. Right now, they're like at between 2.5% to 3%.
Okay, but because I'm looking at it here,
go ahead.
So I'm just visualizing. So everything also that goes up, comes down, and everything what goes down comes up.
Correct.
So we need to find an opening, like where to buy, where to sell.
So, and again, I wanted to kind of point this direction because people are in the housing market and they're anticipating whether it's a good time to buy or sell. If interest rates do go up, then there will be essentially less buyers, which will mean typically lowering prices. And if you pull back, so this is on the daily chart. So again, there's so many factors and so many things to consider regarding like charting. Most people ignorantly just want to say, hey, where do I park my money? But don't know necessarily the fundamentals or what to look out for in order to make a good or proper decision.
That's right.
As I'm pulling back, I mean, it's fine right now. You can kind of see we're approaching a death cross on the 10-year treasury. But if you pull back, you can see how much lower it's gone. So this is back in November 2018, interest rates just keep going and going. Before the big sickness, interest rates were going down like, what do we have up until there? Roughly about there. Interest rates are going down. And obviously they went back up, but then we're going back down again. And if we're hitting a death cross on the 10-year treasury, then there's a potential that we're going to, interest rates on houses could be lowering too. You know, and the Fed is talking about raising interest rates. Can they really?
Well,
like, no. Bigger question.
You hear people saying that the interest rates are going to go down. You hear interest rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
So, and I've always said, I don't listen to the news.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen and I'm going
to the charts.
To the charts.
Yeah.
Because let them do the talking. I'm not going to listen to other people because obviously it's my money.
But, you know, and what I want to highlight is just so much information to take in and so many different news sources and friends that want to tell you what they think. But at the end of the day, they really don't know, and they only follow the news that they follow.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's divided by political party. So if you tend to be one party, you tend to hear that narrative, and it tends to be the exact opposite of your other friends who are of different parties. But all that to say is that we live a very ignorant life. You know, I think in aggregate, I think I'm safe enough to say we're all very ignorant because there's so much information out there that we can't really focus in on everything. You're the master of one or the master of none.
True.
And so if you watch and follow charts, you'll be able to kind of tell the direction of a company, the direction of a business, the direction of even our economy. But if you're busy at work, you know, whatever you're doing, if you work at a car wash, if you work at an insurance place, if you're an agent, you don't necessarily have the time to invest in other areas.
Well, to be a trader, it's not a full-time job. The market's open early.
Yeah.
You could dedicate yourself 1 to 2 hours a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because the market never stops. It never does.
Especially in crypto.
Yeah. But again, you need to know what you want to invest in. So if it's either going to be stocks, futures, you know, commodities, whatever it is, you need to get familiar with that. And you need to open an account.
Yeah.
And I would suggest is to open a demo account first. Play with it with Play Money till you get familiar.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just, again, they want to park it and listen to whoever and make money and then be able to tell people, hey, look how much money I made. But I think the core of it, you know, when we talk about charting and when we talk about getting into finance, I think people ignorantly kind of just automatically assume it's stock market, you know. And there's more to that. You sell insurance. We talked last week. If you watch the show from last week, you know, Erica highlighted a little bit about how you can leverage off insurance, you know, for your financial portfolio. And there's different avenues and different ways to explore finances. It's not just one.
And also, you know, everybody doesn't like to pay taxes. So here's another thing. Nobody does. But when you're investing and you're, you know, doing the stocks, there are certain ways that you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should we black some of this out for the IRS not to hear?
No, but
her name's M too. I don't know her real name.
No, but you know, because it's also a business.
Yeah.
It's your business.
Yeah.
And you want to treat it just like any other business.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of ways to deduct. Just like people say, oh, I deduct my car wash today. No. What if your losses? You need to also get ready and sit down and say, okay, I'm going to have $200. What can we do with those $200? Start with your demo account and find a broker.
Yeah, and I think I think it's a hard concept for people to follow because they're just so caught up in just paying the bills and taking their kids to school and showing up to work on time. You know, I think there's so much of that, and I was caught in that rat race too. You know, and you really don't understand the benefits. And I think this our culture and the people that are in charge really don't want you to understand this stuff.
No, and it's like, do you have the urgency? Yeah. Do you want to keep living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to go ahead and continue just, a routine?
Yeah.
Routines get boring. When we're in the car, people listen to music. Instead of that, listen to something else. Get educated. Learn the foundation, learn the terminology, learn what a candlestick is, learn what the death cross is, what, a bullish, bearish market is. Yeah. So when you're in the car, instead of listening to music or, doing the chitty chatty,
yeah,
put something else on. Invest in your time. That's what you can do.
Yeah, so the first step, I think, is to open up a brokerage account and looking for which one, operates the best for you, what you want to do. If you're interested in crypto, like something like Vanguard doesn't even invest in crypto. A Vanguard account is highly traditional, and they're invested in stocks. They invest overseas. There's international trades too. But something like a Robinhood account, I opened a Robinhood account, but I have concerns about the company and the direction that they're going. So my brother's going to hate me, but I opened a Webull account, and I'm exploring what that is. There's a lot of there's plenty of brokerages that allow for free trades.
Oh yeah.
But over a while, and depending on the dollar amount that you trade at, you may have fees and services, and there may be other things that you need to pay attention to. But a majority, of people only have a few $100 to a couple $1,000 to invest, starting out. And that's okay. It's better the younger you start, but it's better to start sometime than never.
But it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
Also.
When did you start?
I was fortunate enough for 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I was fortunate enough to...
Man, you started at 22 and now you're 24. I'm sure you have millions now, right?
Oh, shh, don't say
that. I will say the younger you are, the better it is. So you open up a brokerage account. That is the very first thing, and start putting in money wherever you can. Vanguard will allow for free trades. I think the minimum on there is 10,000 in the brokerage account. There are other ones that allow for other...
For less amount. Like, I personally have Thinkorswim. And Thinkorswim does stocks, options, and futures.
Yeah.
So it has all three in one account. So I don't have to have one account over here, one account over here. No. Try to find a brokerage that could cater to your needs.
Yeah.
Not that I'm promoting them, but it's what's best for you.
Yeah, and go explore. And typically wherever you put your money in, you're probably going to leave there anyway. But, listen to us. There's Robinhood, there's Coinbase. I think they're heavier in crypto. Like I said, I just opened an account with Webull. I'm trying to think of other ones, but there are plenty out there.
There's a lot of them.
And so I guess if there was advice to lean on somebody that has at least a foundation, they've been around for a while. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of new ones out there. I think Coinbase is still fairly new as far as a brokerage account. So you open a brokerage account. First and foremost, first step. Then you put your money in there. Okay, ready to trade. What do we do now, Miss M2?
Well, I would look at the calendar and see. Remember the Forex calendar that I showed you a few weeks ago?
Do you want me to pull that up?
Do you want to pull it up? Let's see.
Sure. Let me
so silly.
Let me pull it out. Oh, let's see. 4X. That's right. Really, no. 4X? How do you spell that again? Okay, let me take that out. 4X.
Yeah, look at your calendar. But, before all that, yes. There you go.
There it is. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up now.
Why don't, and also...
This is right here?
4X? No.
Oh, wrong one. Well, there we go. I screwed up. I screw up once in a while.
No, you don't.
I do a lot. But anyway, I think what Erica's leaning towards is to be educated on the economy, educated on what's happening, and it's not to be scared about or try to, find information that is scary. I mean, there's always stuff that's concerning. There's always something that's going to happen. So what you really have to do is acquire information to make an appropriate decision regarding your investments. Like right now, investing in a company such as like Amazon, I've gone back and forth on that. I've talked to my brother too. Let me go to the chart real quick. So Amazon in itself, there is a lot of overseas issues. So the virus in itself, it has impacted shipping. And I believe in China just recently, they shut down a lot of their shipping facilities just because one person tested positive. And they're very restrictive regarding shipping. And if you notice, and if you look at any product that you have, if you whip out your phone, if you whip out even like a coffee mug like this, look at the bottom. If it says made in China, 40% of the world's economy, or at least imports or exports, come from China. And so we are heavily reliant on their manufacturing for just cheap cost of goods. And when they shut down their facilities, when they shut down, their ports, it's definitely going to impact that. How are we going to acquire those items that we need to build stuff if the items that we're relying on, or the location that we're relying on, is shut down? How are we going to produce as a country if the production source that we get our products from, or at least parts of our products from, is closed down? So that's something to be aware of, something to kind of be very conscientious about, and again, how that affects us in the United States, it's left to be determined. Can we reacquisition an import source? Can we get it from somewhere else? Obviously, like if we're importing, I don't know how much lumber we import from overseas, but are we going to have to redirect to Mexico or Canada for something like lumber? It's those things you have to pay attention to in the news to really make those macro things that are happening, to make a more micro decision regarding your finances and stuff. And those are the things that I think people don't have time for. How do I have time to go do all this research?
Make time.
You make time and log into RCO Network here on Fridays, 12 to 1, the noon hour, to get your information about finances and the things that happen here. So we talk about China, we talk about M2, we talk about insurance, we talk about everything.
No,
so
it's the forexfactory.com.
Oh boy. Okay. So there we go. that took that
Sorry.
long. I'm going on a rant over here about everything. Hold on. What am I doing?
forexfactory.com.
Oh God. Forex Factory. Just for you. Wrong. There it is.
Remember?
Look at that. Here we go. So just for you, we're bringing that in the Forex. So again, this is just an information source. I don't know. And again, it goes back to, are people readers? Do people actually read some of this stuff? So in the morning, you come in here and you pull information, right?
Yep, I do, to see how it's going. And
so what can I go to? What's my go-to here? You said stuff in the U.S. you should pay attention to, right?
Correct.
So, more.
So go to your calendar.
Where's my calendar?
Right up here.
Right up there. I'm going right there. Welcome to my calendar. Hello, calendar. So I'm looking for USD. Is that what I'm?
Yep.
Empire State Manufacturing Index. What am I going to find there?
And then it tells you the impact, like Well, yeah.
What am I doing?
No, go ahead, play with it.
What'd you say?
Play with it. Get familiar.
Oh, okay. Wrong song.
Billy. He's so goofy, isn't he?
A little bit.
But that laugh.
Nobody's listening.
Who's not listening?
I don't know. Well,
Why
they're not
are
here.
we not listening?
They're not here in the studio, so they may be listening and they may be chuckling, but I don't.
No, but like here,
okay. So
we also look at the unemployment rate. We look at retail sales. So you can just
pull up.
Okay, look, and then you have right here that Biden, the president, spoke.
Where am I? Where am I at?
Down here.
Oh, I screwed up.
No, it's okay.
Biden spoke. Where are you looking at?
Further
right, Biden
right
speaks
here.
right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Here, Biden speaks here. So this information remarks on Afghanistan. I don't know if they're where Afghanistan really stands as far as their impact on us. I mean, really, what it comes down to with finance, it's about buying and selling stuff. And what do we acquire from Afghanistan that do we know anything? I honestly, I'm ignorant. I don't really know what when I think Afghanistan and I think anything Middle East, I automatically think oil.
There's no Middle East.
Oh,
Middle East could be Asia, it could be China,
or wherever.
That's why I'm like, no.
I am ignorant.
No, you're not. But it's just that I'm like, no, there's no, because when people say, are you Middle Eastern? There's no Middle Eastern. I'm not from China. I'm not from Asia. No.
Mediterranean? No. The Persian Gulf?
No.
Gulf.
Am I? No, because the
I don't know.
Mediterranean, was it Greece?
I need you to
over
educate
there?
me.
No. But anyway, keep scrolling. Look,
Oh,
here's
boy.
a red one right here, which is high importance.
Okay, so we're looking at the
Stop.
core retail sales.
This was
It's
Tuesday.
It's even got a star.
And it's something that's important. And that affects how you trade. Just read into it. See what's happening.
So some of the history here. So related stories. Where would you necessarily go? Source.
That's
next
what.
release? Oh, so this is just notes. Is that what it is?
These are notes. And it says retail sales X autos. So, like you said, it is the automobile right now. The parts, like you said, what was it, last year or the year before,
Yep.
GM was on a strike. So it was hard to get parts from over there. And the reason I know is because a vehicle
Yeah.
was literally at the dealership for almost a whole year because they couldn't get the parts. So this calendar gives you a lot of information.
Okay.
And you need to get familiar with this if you want to start investing and, you know, become more educated.
Yeah, and I think that's the real learning lesson. I'm going to go back to the chart. We're about 5 minutes away from ending the show. Can you believe that? We've been chitter chattering for about 25 minutes.
And I was just getting started. I'm like getting excited.
She was just getting started.
I was just getting started. No, but also
God.
real quick, you know, Google or YouTube, whatever it is that, you know, the fundamentals, the terminology. You need to get familiar with that.
I think that's probably the one focus that the one takeaway that I want to share. And, you know, we got a few more minutes left, but as I'm on this journey to understand finance, I understand that there's way more information than I really anticipated coming across, and it's not just about parking your money and getting a high return. You know, there is some of that. There is some of that, but there's also a portion where you have to think about long term too. And having a good financial portfolio is not only your investments, but your income.
Right.
You know, and your revenue streams. You have to have multiple revenue streams.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're working at, you know, wherever you're working, McDonald's, Fry's, wherever, QT, gas stations, wherever you're working, that is your revenue stream in your personal portfolio. And as stuff happens with that revenue stream, is there other revenue streams that you have that you can leverage on if something happens to that? If you lose your job today, do you have something else to rely on? You know, and I think about those things all the time. Right now, I have two businesses. You know, one is the RCO network, and then I have the real estate part. And if one of those essentially dries up or is impacted, you know, if, you know, real estate sales is obliterated for whatever reason, I at least have something else to fall back on for an income stream or revenue stream. And then I also have my short-term and long-term investments. You know, short-term could be crypto. Long-term could be like the VIX, you know, putting your money in a long-term, just park your money there for a while, let it grow, you know. And part of like establishing your portfolio is understanding every aspect of it. It's not just making money and paying bills. And I think a lot of people are caught up in that circle. And I wish there was more information and stuff out there that was supportive of pulling people out of that circle, but they get so comfortable there, you know. And maybe it's not comfortable, but it's just like they don't know anything else.
No, and you want to be different. We want to educate ourselves, and we want to educate our children.
Yeah.
If, you know, we always say, because I have 3 children, and I want them to be better. I want them to have more of what I had.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an entrepreneur. Their father's an entrepreneur. Their mindset's already like, okay, we have to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
It's just like a family of teachers, doctors, police officers. We need to educate our children because they are our future. And
Yes.
my children are already learning how to read charts. And if anything, like you said, we need to have more than one source of income. And I don't know, like last week I said, hey, see if you can cut down on your cable, additional channels. I did, and I saved exactly $316.
Yeah.
And also with that, I can put it into the savings. Half of it went to the savings, and the other half is going to go into, options.
Yeah.
Start somewhere.
And I think starting for me was basically YouTube. I know myself, and I've tried reading books. One of the first books that really anybody should buy is Money Master the Game. That's by Tony Robbins. It should be a book that you have it's a reference guide, because there's going to be things that you learn that you read that book for the first time, you're like, I'm like, I can't even get through the first 4 chapters. And that's how I was when I first got that book. And as I've explored more and understood more and more of the terminology, watching videos, getting more invested in the information, I've gotten, at least twice to the end of the book. but I still don't understand all the terminology. Like the section that always gets me is the insurance part, leveraging off of insurance.
You can.
And using that as an investment tool.
Yep.
But there's so many things to learn about finance, you know, that nobody's going to sit down and teach you.
Nope.
And it is way more than just sitting down or going to work and coming home, watching TV and going back to work. That is not the life that I don't think anybody wants to live. You know, but they're just so scared and so caught up in that circle that it's hard for them to break away because that's all they know and it's all they're comfortable with. You know, and that's securities. Having a job is secure.
But you need to get out of your comfort zone too.
Yeah.
It's scary, but if I can do it, anybody can do it.
So the last thing, we're already over on time today, but the last thing I wanted to kind of to highlight is because there's so many people that do watch the show and that give us feedback. They send at the beginning, you know, they sent us more information about like different charts, you know, and different companies to look at. So if I was to show you something, M2,
show me.
If I what'd you say?
Show me. Let's see. Hurry.
Okay, hold on. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to show you this chart real quick here. Can
Amazon.
Yes. So I'm going to show you this chart a little bit. What are you seeing here? Because I think most of the people, again, get on these things and they're like overwhelmed by what they see and like, well, this guy on that guy on TV basically said I should buy Amazon, and so I'm going to put my money in Amazon. And you're like, okay, why? Well, the guy on TV told me. Like, so would you looking at this chart? I mean, without, they had an earnings call. Let's see, July 30th. So Amazon had an earnings call on July 30th, and you can see the price of the stock went down after the earnings call. And I don't remember what the earnings call was. I don't follow all the earnings releases, and I think it's hard to follow so many companies. I think you really have to have like about.
Can you make it a little bit bigger so we can see the candles?
I think I have it on the Heikenashis. So.
Oh, sorry.
There's the candles.
Or the bars, whatever you want to put on there.
There's the candles. There's your candles.
Thank you.
Girl, let me.
Okay.
Girl, let me light some candles, girl.
Go ahead, light them up.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, so what are you seeing
here? You see, there's a gap right away. Right
here.
Right there. There's a gap.
What does that tell you?
Well, it's going to go up. So there's a gap that needs to be filled. So what I would do is say, okay, I'm going to try to find something in that area and hold on to it. That's what I would do.
What do you mean as far as price goes?
Well, that's where you learn.
Yeah.
So you're going to start, okay,
Teach
where
me.
are you going to buy, where are you going to get in, and where are you going to get out? How much are you willing to lose, and how much are you willing to gain?
Well, again, going back to the very basics, it's about buying and selling. Buying low and selling high. Buying low and selling high. That is as basic as you can get regarding anything, including this charting. This charting is just public information for everybody to see where people are buying and selling. The candle in itself is basically, it's sold at a lower price. If it's red, it's sold at a lower price than where it started that day. If it's green, it's sold at a higher price than where it started that day. And that's what the candle indicates. You know, and the MACD, so these lines, again, this is the 200-day moving average. So it takes the average price over the last 200 days. And it shows you this, that's what this purple line represents.
But if you see these three last ones right here,
what are you looking at? You're pointing over there.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Okay, these three. So you're talking about these last three trades. The last. I'm on the day, so I'm on the day.
It's
trade.
okay. It could be day. It doesn't matter. But if you notice, they all similarly kind of almost closed in with the last full one. Do you see it?
Yeah. There is a lot of looks like resistance stuff.
Yeah. So that's like kind of like one candle, because it's all, if you put it together, it's all closed in within the same amount right here.
Well, I can see that. They can't see that.
Oh,
so it's about right here. So I'm on two screens, so I screw up at this one. So again, we're at the $3,100 mark. So if you pull back, you can kind of see where your lines are, and it's kind of in this sideways pattern. We did some gains here, some sells here, but we're still kind of in that price range. And looking at that, we can draw a support line. Let me see if I can do this. I'm still getting used to this stuff. You know, we can draw a support line here. And as you can see, it kind of bounces off that line. Right now, it's below the 200. I don't know if I'd ever suggest anybody trading under the 200. You know, the red line indicates the 50-day moving average. The yellow line is the 9-day moving average.
Okay, and that's another thing. You have to, before
Yeah.
Look at the day before, where it opened, where it closed.
Yeah.
You know, again, do your research and make time. Get your schedule. Get ready. Get a demo account. Start learning. Next week, maybe Robert will put up some little terminologies.
Is that a request?
Well, so the viewers can see, what if they don't have time and they can just say, oh, you know what? Robert put it up. They can go there.
Okay.
Only if you want.
So as far as charting goes, what I guess if somebody's looking at this, would you suggest to them buy or sell, and at what price?
Well, I have to really look at it.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
The RSI volume is really, really low, so it's oversold by a lot.
Okay.
So people, that's an indication people are just selling or getting out.
Oh,
which is
I'm
reflective
going to
in the
look at
candles.
this one,
Yeah.
and next Friday, then I'll go ahead and we'll put it up.
Yeah.
Because also, it's just not trading daily, because it's also you're trading for income and wealth.
Yeah, I mean, there's other ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at the day, you can look at the hour. There's so many different ways. So what I wanted to highlight, I guess, at the end of the day, let me get out of there. What I wanted to highlight, because we're grossly over our time. We're 7 minutes over. But excuse me. But what I really wanted to highlight is that there's a lot of information regarding charting. And when people tell you to buy a stock or get into something or invest in a particular area, some people just blindly and ignorantly say, okay, I'll do it. And again, people are more afraid to find out or at least put that money in. So they rely on other people's information. Like, well, that guy sounded really confident, and I think I should invest in Amazon right now.
But don't believe anybody, because what if they're blowing hot air up your skirt?
Yeah, you get a lot of lot of people trying to.
Yeah, no.
So, but looking at these charts, you can make a determination for yourself. At the end of the day, I think the learning lesson is to learn.
Absolutely.
Is to educate yourself. And when somebody says go buy a stock or go buy whatever, I would do so with some hesitation. I wouldn't just go blatantly put your money into places unless you absolutely trust that person. But then again, you really have to reflect on what do they want out of the situation.
True.
Are they trying to bump up a stock? Are they trying to whatever their motivation is?
Every cause has an effect.
And so at the end of the day, what I want to bring to you guys is, I guess, this journey along learning finance. It's really been mine. I really find that I have investing more and putting more into learning about this stuff. And I'm not the best person at it. But I will say I'm probably a little bit more than most people in the fact that we talk about it all the time. We sit down and we have these discussions and we go back and forth. She gives me crap and then she wants me to put it up next week. So just kidding. But no, there's just a lot of things out there that I think are miscommunicated, that I think educating yourself regarding charting, regarding a lot of this stuff will really help you make some good decisions in your life and where you're going. And stop listening to the news. I do watch the news, but only to kind of see what people are talking about, because that's what I think will change markets. If something, I will say there is usually a motivation in why you're hearing it from a particular source, either a person, a newspaper, Facebook. Somebody has some sort of vested interest in swaying your vote or wanting you to choose something. If the guy comes up in his Ferrari and wants to date you, you pretty much know what he wants. Hey, Erica, want to go out for dinner?
No, I don't like Ferraris.
Want to go out for dinner?
No, thanks.
And if I pay for dinner, you kind of know what I'm wanting at the end, right? There is some hidden agenda sometimes with that stuff.
Well, not everybody has hidden agendas, because there's genuine people
Sometimes.
like myself and like you that, we just want to share with everybody. Yeah. There's no hidden agenda here.
No.
We're just
here to
good
support
people. Yes.
So if you want to go ahead and drop your comments, questions, we're like I said, grossly over time. And I did want to take a moment to express to you and show you a little something here.
That's me.
Yeah. M2, Erica Martinez Morales, whoever she is, but she's she definitely sells insurance here in Arizona. So go ahead and log into www.martinezinsurance.com for more information about insurance. Do you want to give yourself a plug, Miss?
Well, not just here in Arizona, but I'm also licensed and have companies to sell in Florida, California, New Mexico, Texas.
Yeah.
So let me save you money on your home, auto. You know, if you have toys, life insurance, that's a good one to invest too for the future.
What kind of toys are we talking about?
Jet skis, boats,
Never mind.
ATVs.
Oh,
Yeah.
those kind of toys.
Yeah.
So reach out to Erica for any insurance questions
call me.
regarding just about anything. She is like a Swiss Army knife. She's got just about everything in her toolbox.
Yeah.
The M2 toolbox. But I did want to let me get rid of that real quick. I did want to say thank you for coming in today. I know
thank you.
it's always like a journey and always an experience to have you here. And to have these moments together. And,
Yes.
you know, if we can provide any information, if you guys have any questions or whatever about finances, I like exploring. And so if you want to drop a comment or question on something that you feel that you need more information on, go ahead and put that in there, and then we'll get to it next week or one of the shows. You know,
And then we'll come back with the Amazon chart and see.
if you would buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. Let me put it back up
Yeah.
for just 2 seconds. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, it's no bueno, senor.
Well, let's see what you come up with, and let's see what I come up with.
RSI is way oversold. Your MACD is indicating sell. I mean, the chart in itself, your 9-day moving average is like blah. It's about to hit the 200, and it looks like your 50 days about to kind of make a turn for itself. You know, with kind of going back to our conversation a little bit earlier in the show, you know, China's having some issues. A majority of the products come from China. You know, shipping rate costs have gone up. I think the shipping crate is, I think it's what, 3,000, went up to about 14,000 just for a shipping crate. And that's just for stuff. Have you ever gone on like and done the tracking on your shipment? You know, if you buy something on Amazon and you can see it starts off in China and then it's there for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Guess what's happening? It's probably being put on a shipping crate. You know, and there's just so many things to pay attention to on a macro level and a micro level, and it all kind of changes the way you see things and your perspective. And again, watching the news isn't always the best thing for you.
And another thing, just buy local. Support small businesses.
Like us. Here.
Like us. Yes. Call me and I can save you money on insurance so you can have money to invest and be better.
That's all we all want to do. I think at the end of the day, we all just want a life, and we all want to live and have money to enjoy when we retire. So that's Ms. Martinez and Rob Morales here at RCO Network, coming at you live every noon hour on Friday to bring you information about the finances and stuff we got going on. So come in next week, and we will see you guys then.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Yes.
Be safe.
Be safe.